What's happening, YouTube? Jugga here. Check it out, people. Welcome back to a very special video. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies on the map of Zetsubou, no Shima. Tell me, show you guys how to get the wonder weapon, the skull of Nan Sapwe. Basically, you need to make yourself over to this ritual location right here. Now, in order to get to this ritual location, you need to open up 2 doors from the spawn location. Make yourself over here to the ritual location. You will see 4 skulls. 4 skulls meaning that there are 4 different locations that you need to take these skulls to. Now, underneath these skulls have different symbols. Now, for every game you play, the locations of the skulls will always remain the same, but the symbols will change. What I like to do is to actually go to the locations, look at the symbol first, then go back to the ritual location and pick up that skull that matches that symbol. For example, you guys see me just went to the first ritual location, which was by the spawn location. Now I am looking for that symbol that's at that spawn location, which is, I call it 1, 2, 3 symbol, and I'm going to pick up that skull because it starts off with a 1 and then a 2 and then a 3. I call that symbol 1, 2, 3. So I picked up that skull. I take it to the first location. There goes the symbol that matched up with that skull. Again, I call this symbol 1, 2, 3. You're going to put the skull into this podium by holding square or X, depending on what system you're on, and these zombies will actually rise out of the ground and they will be glowing green. Now, these zombies will not kill you. They will actually try to go and kill the skull from being cleansed. Now, once you kill all the zombies, then the skull will actually be cleansed. So then after you cleanse the skull, you will actually go back to that podium and pick up the skull. And you have to take the skull from the first location back to the ritual location. I'm going to show you guys all the pathways. This is a full tutorial on how to get the weapons. You guys will see all the pathways. So now you take the skull that you've just cleansed from the first location, put it back into the podium at the ritual location by holding square or X, and the skull will actually sink into the podium and start glowing bluish white. Now that you guys know the first location and we have done the first skull, we actually need to go on to the second location. There are 2 locations in the bunker, but this is the first location in the bunker. Now I just went to the second location and I've seen the symbol. Again, I go to the locations first to see what the symbols are because the symbols change every single game. So now I went to the second location in the bunker. I found the symbol. Now I am going to go back to the ritual location so I can actually pick up that skull that matches that symbol. Now we've seen what that symbol was, and I actually call it 2 teaspoons reversed, and I'm going to look for that symbol that I call 2 teaspoons right here reversed, because it's 2 teaspoons with a V and then a teaspoon and 2 V's, so I call it teaspoons reverse symbol, and I'm going to pick up that skull that matches that podium that showed me that symbol. So now I'm going to go back to the second location in the bunker, showing you guys the pathway exactly how to get there, and I'm going to drop that skull into the podium by holding square or X. The same thing that happened at the first location will happen at the second location. Zombies will spawn glowing green. They will not attack you. They will try to actually take down the podium from getting the skulls to be cleansed. So you just need to kill the zombies, and all the zombies are dead. You're going to pick back up the skull after it's cleansed by holding square or X, depending on what system you're on, and you're going to take that skull and put it right back into the ritual location. And then when you put that skull into the ritual location, what's going to happen? The skull will actually sink in, meaning that you have completed the second location. I'm going to show you guys exactly. This is the pathway it took to get to the skull. To get to the ritual location, here goes the ritual location. We're going to put the skull into the ritual podium, and it's going to sink down. The eyes of the skull start going to glow bluish whitish. Now we need to find out where the third location is at and the symbol. So now the third location is pretty easy. It's actually close to spawn on the other side by the jet propellers right here, the jet fans, whatever you want to call it. Now that I've seen the symbol on the ritual itself, the podium, and the symbol, I actually call it 2 V's because there's really nothing, you know, 2 teaspoons, I would say. There goes the 2 teaspoons. I'm going to pick up the skull from the ritual location, and I'm going to take that skull because the symbols are 2 teaspoons, and I'm going to go back to the ritual location so I could drop off the skull that matches the 2 teaspoon symbol. So it's pretty easy. Again, the location is just right next to or adjacent from the spawn location. So now that you are at this location right here, which is the jet propeller engine location, you're going to drop the skull into the podium. You're going to have Thrashers spawn at the 3rd and 4th locations. You're going to have 2 each. You're going to kill all of the zombies and the Thrashers. The Thrashers will actually come after you. After you kill all the zombies, the skull will be cleansed. You're going to pick back up the skull by holding square or X, and you're going to take that skull and go back to the ritual location right here, and you're going to drop the skull onto the podium, the ritual podium, by holding square or X. Make sure the symbols are matched up. Now that you do that, the skull will sink in and you will see the eyes glowing bluish whitish. Now that we know there's only one more skull, which I call this one a V and 2 teaspoons, well, you do not need to know, you know, the pathway how to get to the bunker, because I showed you guys already how to do that in the second location. But the fourth ritual location is located in the bunker itself as well. There are 2 locations in the bunker. This one is actually all the way at the bottom of the bunker, passing District 9 area, District 9 lab in the bunker. You just go down the stairs and you will end up right here, and you will see the podium. Just drop the skull onto the podium by holding square or X. Zombies will spawn again, including thrashers. You kill them all, and then the skull will be cleansed. You're gonna pick up that skull, but I will show you guys the exact pathway from the skull location, how to get back to the ritual location, which is close to the spawn location. So now that I've picked up the skull from the 4th location, I'm making my way back to the ritual location right now, so I can drop the skull onto the ritual podium. Now once I drop the 4th skull, the last skull, onto this ritual podium, what's going to happen, you guys will not believe it, which is pretty insane. All 4 skulls down, a secret door will actually open up right here. The tree will be removed. A secret tunnel will take you down these steps into this room that you will actually see the wonder weapon, the skull of Nan Sapwe. Now you actually need to cleanse the skull of Nan Sapwe by holding square or X. Now once you actually activate the skull of Nan Sapwe to get the ritual cleansing started, keepers will actually spawn, and you will have to kill all these keepers that their souls will actually go into the skull of Nan Sapwe so that you can cleanse it. But these keepers will not only, you know, try to attack the skull of Nan Sapwe, but they will actually try to kill you as well. Now once you kill all the keepers, their soul go into the podium, and the skull of Nan Sapwe will be cleansed, and you can pick up the skull of Nan Sapwe by holding square or X, depending what system you're on. Just so you guys know, everyone in your game can pick up the skull of Nan Sapwe, so it's a beautiful thing because everyone can have this amazing wonder weapon. Now let's talk about it really quickly. Now in order to bring it up, it's your special weapon. You're gonna tap the top 2 triggers, or the top 2 bumpers, the L1 and the L2, and the R1 and the L1, and you will actually pull out this skull of Nan Sapwe. If you hold the L trigger down, what's gonna happen is that the skull will start glowing white, and all the zombies will start being mesmerized, and then they will not be able to move. That way you can actually control their position so that they cannot run anymore, and you actually mesmerize them where they're actually focusing on you. And if you hold the R trigger, they will actually float into the air and blow up and just destroy and instantly kill them, and you will get the points for it. Just so you guys know, the skull of Nan Sapwe kills everything on the map, from the spiders to the zombies and to the thrashers. The only thing, I tried it on the spider boss and it did not seem to work on the spider boss. That's the only thing, but we'll talk about that in a separate video. Now in order to get back the skull of Nan Sapwe, because it doesn't use max ammo, you need to kill zombies. The more zombies you kill, your skull of Nan Sapwe special weapon will recharge, and that way you can actually keep using it. So hope you guys enjoy my full tutorial on how to use the skull of Nan Sapwe, and actually how to get the skull of Nan Sapwe, which is the wonder weapon in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies on the map of Zetsubou, no Shima. So until next video, I'm Jug, and I'm out, man. Peace.